What's up guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel, and today we are just hanging out on the floor of my bedroom and talking about financial goals. Every year since 2020, which was the year my husband and I started getting our finances figured out, we have set financial goals for the year, and this year is no exception. So let's jump right into it and go over what we want to accomplish this year with our money. So now that we are turning 37 this year, which doesn't feel real. I don't think I'll ever be older than 26 in my own mind, but 37, it's happening. We are really focused on investing for retirement because the earlier you invest, the more time your money has to compound and grow, and the less hard you have to work and the more work your money will do for you. So we want to get as much invested as we can as early as possible. With that said, we just bought a house with today's interest rates. We have 2 small children and a real life to live. So we are trying to balance all of these things and make sure we're planning for ourselves in the future, but also enjoying our life today. So in terms of investing goals, we have a few goals. The first one is to get at least the employer match on my husband's 401k. And so he has a 401k through his employer and they match up to a certain amount. And so we want to make sure we maximize that match because that's a 100% return on our money. The next thing we want to do is max out our Roth IRAs. So I've been maxing out my Roth IRA, I think the last 3 years, but my husband hasn't had a Roth IRA because we've just been contributing to his 401k. So we actually opened a Roth IRA for him recently so we can try to max out both of our Roth IRAs. And we had not contributed to his 2023 Roth, which you actually have until April 15th, which is tax day of the following year, so 2024, to max out. And so for 2023 the limit is $6,500. So first we want to max out his 2023 Roth, then we are going to max out my 2024 Roth, which is a limit of $7,000. It's higher if you're 50 or older, and there's lots of rules around Roth IRAs, but for us we are eligible to contribute, and so we want to contribute $7,000, which is the max we can contribute to my Roth IRA. And then if all goes well with our money, we want to return to my husband's Roth IRA later this year and max it out for 2024 before the end of 2024. So that way we go into 2025 just being in the correct year for both of our Roth IRAs. So that would be a stretch goal to get basically 3 Roth IRAs maxed out for the year. I don't know if we'll hit that, but we'll see what we can do this year. And that's everything we plan to invest for 2024. In terms of debt payoff, we have 2 debts. One is our mortgage, and our other debt, our non-mortgage debt, is my husband's student loan. Now, my husband's student loan has an interest rate of 2.8%, and our mortgage has an interest rate of much, much higher than that. So if we were to pay anything extra to debt this year, which I don't think we're going to, which feels really weird because every single year for the past 4 years we've paid extra to debt, but honestly I think investing is more of a priority for us right now, and so we are not planning to put extra payments to my husband's student loan or to our mortgage at this point. If we hit all our investing goals and we have money beyond that we don't end up wanting to spend on something else, which there's plenty of things with a new house that I can see us spending that money on, because while it's a new to us house, it was built in the early 90s and there are lots of things I'd like to change and update about it. So I highly doubt we'll put anything extra to debt, but our goal, like every year, is to at least make all our minimum debt payments so we stay on top of our debts and our credit scores stay in good shape and all that good stuff. So one of our goals this year is to just make all our minimum payments, and sometimes some years that's all you can do, and that's okay as long as you don't get into more debt, which is of course a goal of ours, is to never get back into more debt again. But as long as you don't get into more debt and you're just making your minimum payments, I think that's a win, especially in these economic times. It's really hard out there right now. Everything's expensive. Okay, our next financial goal is to cash flow all of our medical expenses through tax advantaged accounts when we can, and just through our normal budget when we can't. So what I mean by that is we have access to an FSA through my husband's employer. That is a flex spending account, and so we are able to have money come out of his paycheck on a pre-tax basis and then use that money towards medical expenses. They just give us a debit card and we just pay through that FSA card. There's also other ways you can pay for medical expenses, like through an HSA, and that requires that you have a certain type of health insurance plan. We don't qualify for an HSA this year, so we're planning to contribute the maximum to the FSA, and then anything that doesn't cover, because I think that's only around $3,000. The limit goes up every year. I don't remember what the amount is this year, but once we use that up, which we probably will because we have other years, we want to make sure that we are budgeting to pay for medical expenses out of our normal budget so we don't go into any medical debt. Our next big financial goal this year is to put put at least $500 a month to a house maintenance sinking fund. And this is not something we did when we bought our first property. This is our second property we've owned. Our first property we sold back in May, and then we just recently moved into this house. And our first property was a condo, and it was like almost brand new. It was 3 years old when we moved into it. And it still had so much maintenance, and we were not prepared for that financially. So we certainly expect to have maintenance on this property, which is like 30 years old. And I'm hoping that $500 a month will cover most of the things that come up, so we don't have to dig into our emergency fund to maintain our house. And so we certainly don't have to go back into credit card debt to maintain our house like we did back in 2017 when we bought our first place. And our last financial goal for the year is something I kind of already mentioned, but that is slowly decorate and make improvements on this house. Obviously, when you buy a new place, it's so exciting. You want to like decorate it and make it yours and paint it and have it like be exactly how you want it. And believe me, I just told my husband this morning, I was like, I'm very tempted to just go out and put $10,000 on a credit card and get everything I want to like get this house in like good shape to feel like ours and be decorated and like fully done. But I'm just not going to do it because I know that it won't feel good, and I don't want to put us back in credit card debt. Like, there's no home decor piece or piece of furniture that's worth it to me to be back in credit card debt or to dig into our emergency fund to get. So we are going to slowly improve and update over time and do as much as we can ourselves and learn how to do house projects and DIY stuff the most we can to make it ours. So once our other financial goals are met, like paying for our medical expenses and investing and making sure we're putting money into the house maintenance fund, I really see any extra money we have, if there is anything left over, hopefully there will be, but any extra money we have throughout the year going towards house decor and improvements and stuff like that. So that is it for our family's 2024 financial goals. If you've set any financial goals for your own family and you'd like to share them, then put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on this year. If you like this video, as always, give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Bye.